first Indianapolis 500 was the second race in Indianapolis history to be extended over 2 days. The traditional gentleman start your engines on May 30th signaled the parade lap of what turned out to be only another preliminary for the men who fought their way into the race at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
On occasion, Pilot Car Registry archives troves of factory documents that are not related to pre-production prototype development of General Motors. Although not specific to our research and expertise, the historical importance is quite genuine. In this case, it was the General Motors Heritage Center's desire for us to share the historical documents related to the 1967 Camaro pace car program. This is an important piece of Camaro history, so we agreed. Because we don't consider ourselves experts within the pace car circles, we have chosen to narrate this through the words of Gary Witzenberg, author of Camaro, Challenger to Champion. We've spoken to Gary on a couple topics that he was helpful in answering. This is because he was there when it happened. Gary is one of the researchers that we have the utmost respect for. He wrote this book based on interviews of key players in Camaro development, most notably Pete Estes. Gary's interview process and the cooperation of the General Motors Heritage Center makes his work worthy of any library. This is research done precisely the way the Pilot Car Registry does it, based primarily on historical documents for provenance and interviews of the men that lived these moments. This may sound like an easy task while we live in the environment of the internet, where everything's shared in an instant, but actually, most of what you see on the internet and in coffee table books paints a very incomplete picture. Case in point, within the archives of General Motors, where these documents and photographs are held, the files related to the documents and photos, these notes, some of which are over 50 years old, most of which are never seen, but tell the precise context of every photo and document. It is a far cry from the rampant speculation that occurs every day in the car hobby. This is how Gary researched his book many years ago, utilizing these notes, documents, photos, and personal interviews. And it is the same way that we choose to do our research. We are proud to say that our additional research picks up on topics that men like Gary would have ultimately fulfilled themselves if the short time that we all have for a hobby would have been longer. Gary starts with, the pace car itself was an ermine white convertible with a white top and blue interior, deluxe steering wheel and interior trim, SS396 and Rally Sport packages, turbo hydromatic transmission, posi traction, power steering, power front disc brakes, nylon red stripe tires, console and instrumentation, push button radio, heavy duty battery, and a heavy duty radiator. No replicas as such were offered to public sale, except the 100 or so that was used for parades and courtesy vehicles, which were later sold as used cars. But people were urged to go out to their dealers and test drive similar equipped Camaros. It would be only the third time that a Chevrolet paced the 500. The first would have been a 1948 Fleetmaster convertible, and the second a 1955 Bel Air. Three-time Indy winner Maury Rose, a Chevy research and development engineer who had supervised the preparation of the 1955 pace car, was picked to drive the Camaro that would pace the May 30th event. Supplying the Indianapolis 500 pace car involves more than most people realize. Besides the actual car that leads 33 nervous drivers around the track at speeds of excess of 100 miles an hour, there are a couple fully prepared backup cars in case something goes wrong. 100 or more replicas are provided for use for opening day and race day parades, and courtesy loaners for drivers, track officials, race queens, press, and various VIPs, as are 15 3/4 ton and half-ton pickups for trackside fire control and safety control duty. Gary would continue with, the pace car's very first function was the elaborate opening day parade and ceremony on Saturday, April 29th. Following a breakfast program with the mayor, 43 pace car replicas led a lengthy caravan from Indianapolis's Murat Temple to the Speedway, then lined up 3 abreast for 2 parade laps of the track, while announcer Tom Carnegie gave an official welcome to all that were present. A pace car driven by the 1966 USAC champion Mario Andretti, with Chevrolet general manager Pete Estes as a passenger, broke through a huge paper checkered flag, imprinted with Second 50 to commemorate the second 50 years of the event. Gary would finish with, A balloonist ascended. Chief starter Harlan Bingler and 500 Festival President Kenneth Hawk then climbed into the pace car for a formal inspection of the track. And with that, the festivities were over.